Welcome to Mondays Learn with Beauty Slash, and in this video I will teach you how to draw very beautiful eyebrow following the brow mapping rules. So if you're ready, let's dive in. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to draw a very beautiful eyebrow shape. First, we're going to do this on paper so you can practice at home, and then we're going to draw this on the client following all the mapping rules. So first of all, I want you to draw the line which is 6 centimeters, and then the point for the arch at 4 centimeters. Now, the first thing is that our brow front and our tail going to be at the same level. Also remember, the tail cannot go lower than the brow front. You can draw this either higher or the same level, but in this case I'm going to put it on the same level. Then the next step for the lower arch, I will lift this just a little bit higher than these two. Remember, if the lower arch is even more higher, we're going to have very curved upwards eyebrows. So around this, let me actually measure, this is around 5 millimeters is good enough. And then for the thickness of the eyebrow, I think I might go this thick, but let me check first. So first we have these 3 dots. Then the next step in drawing eyebrow is not to draw the lower part starting from the brow front, but actually create a little curve over here. This is to ensure that your lower arch do not have any weird curves. After this is done, lightly connect this to the tail and then to the brow front. A little bit of the hint give you over here is that this part just slightly has to curve upwards, but this one just a tiny bit has to curve down. But it's pretty much invisible. Let me erase this and draw more beautiful line. And sorry to disturb this video, but I have something important to say. If you're struggling with brow mapping, I am sponsoring right now $200 to enroll in my online brow mapping course. You can check all the reviews about this amazing course, how people transformed into professional makeup artists with no fear of mapping, and so can you. If you dream to be professional at brow mapping, even at most difficult cases of uneven brows, then definitely sign up for the scholarship right now in description below, as this offer is limited. Then I select the thickness of the brow to be around 8, it's around 7 millimeters. And again, I'm going to create the curve too, so that I connect to the tail and to the brow front. But for this curve over here, it's going to be more straighter, but then it will curve after this right away, and then just slowly come down, just like this. Then for the brow front, if this is 8 millimeters, then my brow front should be either the same or thicker. The brow front never can be thinner than this part, because this one was actually 7 millimeters, so I'm going to make this one 8. Just put a dot over here and then lightly connect with this dot. And if you have a difficulty with connecting these dots, I suggest just to put your ruler and put first the dots and then connect them. So this is the ready to go eyebrow. It is pretty easy. You can play around with this point going a little lower, then this thickness will be shifted even higher, then you will have a more curved look eyebrow. Then if you want to create more rounder shape, then I suggest to shift this arch closer to the brow head. And this way, if it will be over here, around over here, you would have more rounder shape without less obvious arch, just a round shape. So if we would look into different shapes as Asian or more foreign style, the Asian eyebrow is basically this point is pretty close at the level of brow front and the tail. And for more foreign style, this lower arch is lifted even more higher. But we always have to see whether the eyebrow will fit our client based on her brow bone. So in this part of the video, now I will demonstrate how to draw this for our client based on her brow bone. And you guys can see she has no hairs, so I have no right to judge by her hairs, but just by her brow bone. And girls from my brow mapping course, girls know this already. We're going to find the brow start, then the tail, then the arch, and then draw the eyebrow. So the first step, I'm going to find from where our eyebrow will start. And you have to draw two lines that coming out of her corner of the eye. And then just draw a middle line, which is the middle of these two lines. So our brow front will be 1/3 of this distance. So if we divide this into 3 parts, our brow will start from this line, which is 1/3. However, this area, remember, has to be very, very light, whether you're doing microblading or powder brows. And then we're just going to copy this to another side. Now, we do know the start for our brow, but we still do not know where our lower boundary and upper boundary will be for this eyebrow. And because she has no hairs, we really don't know where the brow should sit. So let's first figure out where is her brow bone. I can see by the shade, her brow bone, the most sticking out bone is over here. And by the shade, it comes down to here. And then over here, it comes down. So I already know if this is the brow bone, I know that the brow should sit just tiny bit lower, and then we'll have some thickness over here, but basically the brow bone is not precisely in the shape, but the shape is just a bit lower than the most highest point of her bone. So this will be my thickness for the eyebrow. For the thickness, you can select any thickness that you like, but the best range is from 7 to 8.5 millimeter. So if you have a digital caliper, you can check this out. However, again, this is just a paper, so the thickness is not really true to the clients. So if this is my thickness, and if this is the shade that comes to the nose, and if this is the line of my brow front, I can pretty much start as this shade intersects this line. So for now, I'm just going to select this as the lower boundary for my brow front. I'm not sure yet about the thickness of the eyebrow, so I will leave the upper part for later. If you have any questions about this video, just connect with me on Instagram BeautySlash. I'm very friendly and responsive for any questions, and also I post useful tips and tricks on my stories and feed. For more in-depth content and courses as well as products I use, visit my website beautyslash.com. Now the next step is to find the length, not the arch, but the length, because the arch will be, again, 1/3 of the length of eyebrow. So this is my length. And then I know that the tail should be either at the same level as the brow front, just as we discussed over here. It's either on the same level or slightly higher. So I'm going to make it just slightly higher and select the point around here. Now, the arch will be 1/3 of this distance, which is around here. And this point, the lower arch, should be just slightly higher than these two, because again, her brow bone is already here. I can't go select the lower arch very above the brow bone. It should be either on brow bone or just maybe slightly higher or slightly lower, but you can't jump really high. So that will be my lower arch. Now, by the rule that we just learned, I'm going first to do this curve and then going to connect with the tail and with the lower part of the brow front. So here I have a curve and then a straight line coming to the brow front. Now let's talk about the thickness. So by my preference, I like to have the thickness around here. It's really by the preference of you or your client. So let me do the thickness, but remember not to go over 8.5 millimeter. And you guys can see I draw the dot above the lower arch, but you actually can sometimes draw this by diagonal. It's basically, sometimes it's better to shift the arch a little further, sometimes closer. It will just have a little bit impact on the style of eyebrow, that's it. So I put my dot over here. And then remember, the first thing I'm going to do this curve, which is straight over here, and it goes down right after. And then I'm going to connect with the tail. So if this is my thickness of arch of my brow, and this is 5 millimeter, I would want to keep my brow front the same thickness, or better, just slightly bigger. And over here, this is 5 millimeter, then I would select 6 millimeter, just as I actually selected on my first trial. And with the dots, first I'm going to connect, and then slightly going to connect with the line. So right now we have this nice shape. Of course, the brow front is not going to be square. You have to tell the clients about this. It's going to gradually come upwards to the upper part. And also this part will be extremely, extremely light. So if I were to draw my strokes, the distance between the strokes will be quite huge, and then it gets more saturated inside the brow front. Then we're going to copy this brow to another side. I posted lots of videos on my YouTube how to copy one side to another, so you can check it out on my YouTube. And one more time, I just want to guys invite you to my brow mapping course, because right now there's a huge chance to enroll with this course, to take the voucher, this coupon. We haven't done this coupon before, so this is the first time, and it's a really great chance. And the benefit of the brow mapping course is that you're going to see the brow mapping on various clients, but you're also going to see the tricks, how to keep the outline during the procedure, how to copy one side to another, specifically the curves of eyebrow to another side. There's lots of information out there, so I strongly suggest to get the course, also because you will see everything in step-by-step designed for you to get your mapping to the professional level. So check in the description below and get this coupon, because only 75 coupons are available. And if you guys have any questions about brow mapping, welcome to ask them under this video or follow me on Instagram, beauty_.